Overwatch is a game for everyone, including those with aiming disabilities. This is why heroes like Hansa exist, designed so that players can intentionally miss their target and still secure a kill. There are two key skills to Widowmaker. The first is to get a headshot in the first shot. The second is to know how to position yourself to the nice space so that your enemy will go in a certain direction, playing them like a fiddle. One of the key elements in dealing with your direct counter pick is knowing when to take action. So when the Weeaboo put out their weed stick,
30 seconds.
let them express their teen angst, and when they're done, just shoot them in the head. Genji mains only want one thing, and it's disgusting. And that is to go AFK until it's time to pull their weed stick and wave it around like an idiot. Just shoot them in the back and help stop society from regressing to idiocracy. One of the most annoying things in Overwatch is when you are focusing on getting a team kill when suddenly the Genji decided to pull out his weed stick.
I could do this.
We get it! You watch anime! No, sip it, you dweeb! A game of Overwatch that lasted too long always devolved into a Widowmaker 1v1. And the game would be decided on whether your team is the better Widowmaker or not. And no, Hansa main don't count as they rely on luck and not skill. People kept saying that the Widowmaker Ultimate does nothing other than a glorified Hanzo Sonic Arrow. But what people seem to fail to understand is that it gives the Widowmaker player the confidence boost to eliminate everything in sight. Widowmaker's motto is one shot, one kill. But what constitutes one shot, really? Because after you fire your first shot ever, every time you pick up a gun, you fire another shot, and it wouldn't be the one shot. When you got nothing to shoot at, just shoot at the shields. And they say double shield is a problem, but this is a problem that will solve itself when a monkey jumped out, which means it's your time to shine. And you know that Junkrat mains are totally overrated. Even though they have big brains, they're mostly nearsighted, which means they can't see anything beyond half a meter of an end nose.
Fire.
Which is why, oh goddammit, Mercy, Junkrat mains thought they have the biggest brains in Overwatch. But what are big brains compared to execution skills? This is why a Widowmaker main will always be more valuable in your team. I am not the Widowmaker main. A monkey chasing tails is probably not the first thing you're gonna want to see in the morning. But then again, this is Overwatch we're talking about. And all you povers out there have seen Tracer getting railed so many times that you forget she's a lesbian. If you think that the Mercy rework resulted in a better Mercy, remember that in the old days, Resurrection was an ultimate, and to do it every 30 seconds, Mercy will need to charge her ultimate so many times.
No one can.
So here I was, dead and watching a bunch of Mercy's daisy-chaining heals. Why wait to respawn when suddenly
Here I am.
I saw some S-Lord Supreme trying to get away. Nice try, douchebag. Get a personality. You haven't really played Overwatch until 6 Winstons jump in, tearing through the enemy like they're a banana buffet, and everyone's whining, ooh, that's terrible! So just pick Widowmaker, snipe the idiots while the Winston go full on 8 mode. Everyone using their ult thought that they're getting player of the game, but Mercy knows better who's carrying this team. That's right, there is no I in team, but there is in Widowmaker. Teamwork! Sometimes you know you've won a game for the team when nobody's coming to the payload. But then you get the feeling that someone's on the way, only to realize it's just a Mercy popping up to say hello. And they say Overwatch is a toxic game. The worst part about Overwatch is when you're too good for the enemy team. So you're just minding your own business hunting that one Lucio. Only to have someone rain on your parade. Cassidy wasted his ult just to get rid of you. Sometimes Cassidy can take high noons quite literally. He would spend all that time climbing the roofs, only to jump down and try to flashbang you. Unfortunately, the only counter to this is to have a very high skill gap. It can take a bunch of Widowmakers to close the skill gap and counter that one Widowmaker with enhanced skills. Especially when that Widowmaker can see you through walls and trees 100% of the time, even after the ult ran out. Torbjorn is the hardest hero to cause the game on a skill issue. Not only that his turret has the highest accuracy of any team member, his ultimate molten core is straight out of World of Warcraft. Anyone who has to face up against him will come up short 100% of the time. Here's a skill gap for ya. Hanzo only need to spam his arrow to hit Widowmaker, but for Widowmaker to hit Hanzo back, she will need to concentrate 100% at a time. This is true for every hit that Widowmaker needs to make. In the original classic Overwatch, the game always devolves until someone picked a Widowmaker, and then the result of the game depends on whether your Widowmaker can close the gap or not. But by then, the game has already been decided. One of the worst things a Widowmaker can do is to reveal their secret flanking position, and Lucio's always help on that department. After that, it's all just routine. Widowmaker is not a flanker, goddammit. The thing with a glass cannon is that they can wipe out your team pretty consistently. But when you campaigned enough Widowmaker to the ground, you're just sidestepping a problem that can easily be countered by fixing your skill issue. One of the most hilarious thing in Overwatch is when Cassidy mains thought they were safe from a distant sideline, and not knowing that the health pack lies exactly right smack dab in the middle of a popular camping position. Learn your map, people! Why does this keep happening? Zenyatta would ult and then nobody would follow up with him, only to have him getting boofed by D.Va and fall into the void below. In vulnerability, my ass, follow the Zen when they engage, people!
No.
Here's an unpopular opinion. Dealing with the original Mercy ultimate was a lot better than having Resurrection come up every 30 seconds. It was outrageously hilarious compared to having a sustain where your support can undo the first mistake your teammate did before the start of every engagements. One of the perks about playing Widowmaker is that Junkrats would always put themselves in the sky like a clay pigeon, and Widowmakers would always peek out and put their heads in the open. This is literally easy mode. One shot, one kill is a real thing if you have the skills to back it up, and when you do, then things just depend on how wide the skill gap is. And if you're the better player, you will win. This is called competitive. Any complaint on balance is just skill issue. Cheating tools like aimbot and wallhack should never be normalized as parts of a character's ability in a game. They belong in player enhancement tool, which means a lot of players already have this ability turned on 24/7. Reinhardt is the hard counter to all 32 heroes in Overwatch. This is despite Reinhardt only having a short-range primer attack and a glorified blowtorch. This is because Reinhardt mains are the bravest player in the game, even though they are very dumb. The one rule in Bolskaya Industries is that there is always a Hanzo on the rooftop of the first building. Even when you thought you were wrong, eventually the Hanzo will appear right on schedule. No exception. The standard Mercy gameplay in classic Overwatch is that you get to stand around until you get your moment of glory, and then you get teleported to spawn. Everything is automated, so Mercy get a wide skill level that everyone can contribute to. Did you know that in classic Overwatch, every time you get too close to your opponent, you will blow up? It doesn't matter what character you're playing, this will always happen consistently and without exception.